on the blind side, going out onto the track ahead of the Bet Bright Dipper Novices Chase, 2 miles 4.5 furlongs. Just a reminder, it's good to soft, good in places, and there's no crucial roll. So there's just 4. I wonder if it's a tight little betting heat, this. Yes, it is. 9 to 4, Defi de Seul. 11 to 4, Lost in Translation. Black Op and on the blind side, both 3 to 1. So 9 to 4 heads them, Defi de Seul, ahead of the Dipper. Let's join Stuart Machin. And Stuart announced after our previous race that the good old Alvarado has been retired by Fergal O'Brien.
Yes, Tom, I spoke to Fergal. He came over to us at our presentation position and said, that's it, the horse is hale and hearty, but the old legs just don't quite go the gallop anymore. So Alvarado, at the age of 14, bows out for hopefully what will be a long and healthy retirement. Here, in an outfield of 4 in the absence of crucial role, we have horses, Jonathan Neeson, at the other end of their chasing career. Some exciting prospects on show here.
Yes, and without crucial role, it'll be interesting to see who wants to make the running. But yeah, it's even with just 4, it's a cracking renewal.
I wondered if Lost in Translation might go forward, but I think he'll probably stay a bit further over fences.
And he did the first time he tackled Le Bagois, so that might well be the answer.
He's no longer favourite. He was favourite with Betfair earlier in the day, but Defi de Seul is just shading it on the back of a win over fences at Exeter, beating Black Op. Much more assured display of jumping from Defi de Seul compared to here on his debut.
Yes, yeah, 5 to 2 the field and 3 to 1 the outsider. Yeah, he was more assured at Exeter. Obviously the fences there are not as stiff as here, but he looked like he was getting his act together. Even if he wasn't absolutely perfect, it was a lot better, and he ended up being a very comfortable winner from Black Op, who I thought was just a shade ponderous at a few of the fences. And I don't know, perhaps he may need a longer trip, or perhaps he just needed that initial experience to sharpen him up.
Does get a £3 pull with his old rival Defi de Seul here. On the blind side, now vying for favouritism at 5 to 2 as he starts out on his chasing career.
And you wouldn't be put off by the look of him in the paddock. I mean, he always looked like he was going to be a prospective chaser by his physique, but he looks very well. And obviously there are 1 or 2 questions he's got to answer after only being seen once in 2018, but I'm hopeful he will be able to answer them.
He's had wind surgery since the last time we saw him in action. The last time we did see him in action, it was at Aintree. He met with his first defeat over hurdles, and he was, of course, behind both Black Op and Lost in Translation.
Hot favourite that day, but apparently an interrupted preparation and clearly wasn't at his best, or at least we assume he wasn't.
The market, in essence, doesn't really know what to make favourite here.
No, it's very much that sort of race, and it's the 3-card trick with an added one just to make it even more difficult.
5 to 2 each of 2. Defi de Seul on the blind side. Lost in Translation 11 to 4, and Black Op at 3 to 1. They're beginning to walk in for this Grade 2 contest. We can return to the commentary box here at Cheltenham and rejoin Martin.
Cheers, Stuart. Lost in Translation and Black Op leading them in. Invited to come in, and they're off. Over 2.5 miles for the Grade 2 Bet Bright Dipper Novices Chase. 17 fences to cross. Lost in Translation on the outside of Black Op as they reach the first. Black Op out-jumped by Lost in Translation. Black Op hitting the top of the first. Quickly on to the second, with Defi de Seul settled in third, and on the blind side dropped out last of the 4 and about 8 lengths off the leader, jumping the second fence. Over the intersection, on towards number 3, Lost in Translation, with the advantage from Black Op, with Defi de Seul tracking them about 4 lengths behind, and a further gap to on the blind side as they prepare to swing left-handed and come down the hill. And it's Lost in Translation and Robbie Power in front. 1.5 lengths to Black Op and Noel Feely in second. 2.5 lengths Defi de Seul and Barry Geraghty in third. And after 4 lengths on the blind side in Nico de Boinville bringing up the rear. They're at the foot of the hill and turning to come to fence number 4. Lost in Translation, ears pricked, leading Black Op as they take the 4th fence. Again, Lost in Translation out jumps Black Op, who's closed down by Defi de Soy. On the blind side, still detached from the other 3. At fence number 5, Lost in Translation, another error from Black Op, saw Defi de Soy jump into 2nd, and on the blind side remains detached. So on their way up the hill to fences 6 and 7, it's Lost in Translation by less than a length to the keen going Defi de Soy as they jump the 6th fence. Black Op again out jumped by the 2 in front of him, and at the moment on the blind side is racing very lazily, about 5 lengths behind the others as they come over the 7th. Leading Trio jumped it well. On the blind side jumped it perfectly adequately, but not especially quickly, and remains detached by 4 lengths as they swing left-handed away from the enclosures. So about to turn down the side and face up to fences 8 through to 11, and it's Lost in Translation, stalked by Defi de Soy with Black Op in 3rd, and on the blind side still unable to close down the gap between himself and the leading Trio as they come over the 8th. Lost in Translation, Defi de Soy, Black Op, a small mistake, and on the blind side doesn't appear to be enjoying himself as they go to the water jump for the one and only time. It's number 9, Lost in Translation. Defi de Soy taken to his outside, just over a length behind, then Black Op, and on the blind side is 12 lengths adrift, losing further ground. The first of the open ditches comes up as number 10, Lost in Translation. Defi de Soy was long, Black Op didn't jump it fluently, and on the blind side has been left well behind as they come to jump the 11th. It's Lost in Translation, now 2 lengths in front of Defi de Soy. Another small mistake from Black Op at the 11th in 3rd. On the blind side will turn up the hill 15 lengths behind in 4th as they come to the final open ditch. Fence number 12, Lost in Translation, Defi de Soy, Black Op over in 3rd, and then this huge gap back to on the blind side, who'll be 20 lengths behind as they head to the fence on the top of the hill. It's number 13 in the dipper. It's Lost in Translation, jumping soundly at the head of affairs from Defi de Soy and Black Op, and on the blind side jumped at a remote last as they have just 4 to jump in the Bet Bright Dipper Novices Chase, and Lost in Translation is yet to be headed. Defi de Soy, who went 2nd at an early stage, 2 lengths down, jumping 4 out, 3 lengths to Black Op, who again sent the rider to the buckle end. On the blind side he's still jumping, but he's well tailed off as the 3 in front of him come down the hill with 3 to jump. Lost in Translation on the inside of Defi de Soy, who's closed to within half a length, going over 3 out. Black Op makes his umpteenth small mistake of the race. He's 8 lengths behind the front pair, and on the blind side has yet to cross the 3rd from home, but he's done so safely as the leaders approach the entrance to the home straight with 2 to jump. Lost in Translation with Defi de Soy on the leader's girths. Black Op is trying to stage a rally back in 3rd. He's only 3 lengths off them as they come to jump the penultimate fence. Lost in Translation joined on the outside by Defi de Soy, who now quickens into a definite lead between the last 2 fences. Black Op looking held in 3rd. Defi de Soy into the last, jumped it well, landed running 2 in front of Lost in Translation, who's not yet beaten. Defi de Soy, Lost in Translation coming back in the closing stages. Lost in Translation has gamely regained the lead in the final 75 yards and wins going away. Lost in Translation beat Defi de Soy. Black Op not disgraced in 3rd. On the blind side beaten more than the length of the run-in, last of 4.
Excellent race, the Grade 2 Dipper Novices Chase, won by Lost in Translation under Robbie Power for Colin Tizard. Sees off Defi de Soy and gets up late on to win. Away we go to Fairyhouse. This is the 1:30 underway.
Held up in 4th place on the outside of Crystal Icon as they race away from the stands to flights 2 and 3 on the uphill run. In the Donnelly Providers Handicap Hurdle over 2 miles, it's Cairden Hill and Sean Flanagan in front of Oscar's Den and Paul Townend in the pale pink colours, and Baby Jake and Danny Mullins. Keeping company at the back, Crystal Icon, Conor Maxwell on the inside of Clementina and Owen O'Connell as the quintet race uphill to flight number 3, and it's Cheltenham the leader, followed by Oscar's Den after the top weight, Baby Jake and Crystal Icon taking close road on the inside, as Clementina is relegated to be last of the 5. Continuing uphill towards the final 10 furlongs or so, and it's Cheltenham in the lead from Oscar's Den, Crystal Icon next, then Baby Jake and Clementina. A winner over course and distance 3 weeks ago, as Cheltenham leads 2.5 to 3 lengths, going down the far side to flight number 4 at the halfway stage. In the third race of the afternoon, the Donnelly Providers Handicap Hurdle. Cheltenham with Crystal Icon moving up on the inside of Oscar's Den. The next couple are Baby Jake and Clementina as they reach the 4th flight at halfway. Cheltenham out about 3 lengths in front of Crystal Icon, who's just taken second off of Oscar's Den, and then Baby Jake and